Hello, I'm Lewis. If you brought a program, which I hope you have, then you will find a little bit more about me in the rear of the booklet. But for now, I'm a 19-year-old theatre arts student studying here at the University of Derby. I come from a beautiful small town in Hertfordshire called Buntingford, and I'm a director in training. I'm currently learning and evolving through a series of lectures, experiences, workshops and shadowing opportunities. The reason I'm here on this video is another brilliant example of an experience offered to me through the University of Derby and Derby Theatre. I was chosen for the role of assistant director for the company aside programme that has been linked to Cinderella. I've been given free rein to watch the process go from Mike Kenny's script through the rehearsal period, through all the trials and tribulations that come with that, up to where we are now. However, my journey with Cinderella will not end until it does, until all of my deadlines have been met. As a 19-year-old director, who in a year and a half will have to leave this course, go out into the big wide world and have no choice but to make something of myself in this industry, you can imagine I was nervous on the first day. For this was my first true and real experience of theatre at such a high level. As I'm sure you'll see in Cinderella, the team went about setting the bar pretty high. And that, in essence, was a good thing. It was a challenge because it gave me no choice but to desperately attempt to get up to scratch, get with the programme and get my head stuck into some serious theory. In the early days of rehearsal, I was watching everything. Without any real focus on where I wanted to pinpoint my study, you can imagine I was taking notes all over the shop. There was a lot to take in and there was definitely a lot going on, for these people work hard and fast. Sarah is a great teacher. She has an incredible skill and she has a complete control over a room of actors. Now I imagine this comes down to a multitude of different things. For example, engaged professional actors is a good start, and these must have respect for one another and ultimately respect for Sarah and who she is. She uses this ability to control a room to her advantage by adopting a number of control methods to create a really effective, efficient and comfortable working environment. Now, a director's job is almost never ending. Ever since the Meiningen company began to put an emphasis on the importance of actual rehearsal period and the process of creating a production, we began to see the director as a facilitator, a creative and an artist. Our understanding of the word director is only 100 years old. Interesting considering how integral their position is in the theatre community today. Now, the director's job is huge. Of course it begins with sourcing the piece. In our case, Mike Kenny's Cinderella. Then she must bring together a creative team to spend the next year working and preparing for the rehearsal period. For example, Ivan is the man behind the music and our composer, and Nettie, the brain behind the incredible set that you're going to see in the auditorium tonight. You can only imagine the organising job on the hands of Derby Theatre before rehearsals even began. But once the day has come, the cast are picked, the team are ready for work, the young company are ready to go, and the dates are set, we're off. The rehearsal room for Cinderella was conventional in some respects, for often we began with a series of physical and mental warm-ups, moved on to some workshops and spent a considerable amount of time working through the script. In this time, Sarah must facilitate everybody. She's got to be aware of the physical condition of her team, ensure that everybody is stretched, confident and feeling positive about the day ahead of them. And with any good cast, the actors will be working at different levels in different aspects of the overall performance. I'll use one example, the creation of the rats. Wish she trained me. Sarah must draw upon a range of techniques in order to convey her picture of the rats onto the stage played by humans. And the humans, the cast, must be able to convey it back. Seems simple, but it's not always. To achieve this, she worked with a range of forms to develop an understanding of how they move. She did this by often looking at pictures of rats in real life. I found a printout of how to look after your rat, a Wikipedia page, printed out and left in the green room one afternoon. This just gives you an indication of how in-depth the cast and creative went about finding how to put these rats to the stage. From all this work, she played with the actors, running small workshops, incorporating all unrelated exercise with the development of this characterisation. But Sarah's job doesn't end there. She must help the team understand the script, bring the script to life on the stage, understand each and every character, and thus work with the appropriate actor in order to bring them to life. Through all of this storytelling, she is always aware of the intended audience and the original intentions behind Mike Kenny's script. She must also work with and around the set designers, builders, in order to make everything fit smoothly and artistically together. In all, Sarah's not just a director. She's a counsellor, a teacher, an artist, a sports therapist, a theorist, as well as our conventional understanding of the director. The university have basically created a module formed around this opportunity, which is actually a really smart idea because it reinforces my learning with a higher academic status and asks questions that I wouldn't necessarily ask myself. The university calls this complementary studies. The module offers me space to go out and make my own decisions on where I want to focus my study and free rein to explore my own fields of interest, with constant support throughout from my lecturers and the Derby Theatre staff through every step of the journey. The opportunity has been enlightening to some degree, for it has given me insight on where my study must lead to, given me an indication of how in depth I must take my work in order to achieve my goals in the working world, alongside all of the practical applications observed throughout this process, such as warm-up techniques, actioning, control methods, between staff communications, and how to overcome artistic challenges. Even right down to what seems like obvious and simple things. Sarah has taught me to be aware of how an actor enters a room, and how to begin a rehearsal properly, or even to be aware of the sightlines in an auditorium, and to ensure as the director you see the play from every angle. Sarah, the actors and the creative team have given me a real taste of the professional world, giving me a head start on the rest, for I have really been able to get an understanding of how this particular group of people work together to create a show as spectacular as Cinderella. I am truly grateful for everyone on the team being there to cater for my educational needs, as Sarah has taken time out of her work to answer my questions and give me insight into her creative process. Just as Lecken has been ensuring I was happy from day one, and even given me my own private lecture one afternoon. Even on tea breaks, the acting company were extremely kind to me, keeping me in the loop and making me feel very welcome. Being surrounded by such driven and focused individuals was a very surreal and motivating experience. The company all had a mutual working respect for one another and a genuine interest in me and my work. And I want to take this opportunity to thank everybody from the stage and behind the scenes of Cinderella, as these last few weeks have not only given me a new list of skills and understandings, but the drive to carry on my work as hard as I already am to achieve my goals. As a student, I've had a taste of the professional world, and this opportunity has given me the drive to keep working harder and harder until I can tick off my bucket list and sit in the director's chair at my own main house production, wherever that may be. I hope all of Cinderella's audiences enjoy the final production as I have enjoyed the entire process, as this has been a real shifting point in my life, something I shall carry forward throughout my career and make reference to along the way. Thank you.